Good morning. Hi. So I'm Pete Wootton. I'm the MD of Digital for Dennis Publishing. I'll tell you a bit about the BUYACAR story. So who are Dennis? In case you don't know, we're a medium-sized publishing company in the UK. About £170 million worth of turnover, an EBITDA of 25 million. We have mainly our offices are in the UK. We have an office in the US as well, where we run one magazine. We're a medium-sized company. It used to be owned by Felix Dennis. He set up the business. He unfortunately died a few years ago, and so we've actually just announced that we've been acquired by a private equity business called Exponent, who currently have about £3 billion to deploy in capital to acquire businesses like us. So we're looking forward to a new and vigorous period of growth. We mainly operate in four areas, so we have four key sectors that we work in: automotive, technology, lifestyle and current affairs. What we try and do is build our audiences and businesses in those four sectors. We're also very successful as a digital publishing business. These are the two sort of biggest awards in the UK publishing market for digital media, and we've won each of them, between the two of them, 6 times in the last 5 or 6 years. So we've had a really good run of form. So I think people generally appreciate what we're trying to do and how we're trying to transform our business digitally. And if I had to sum up what our strategy was, it's really 3 things. So we build audiences in key vertical markets. That's really important because we believe that vertical markets are much easier to monetize. If you get people, for example, in the technology space or who are interested in buying technology products, you've built that vertical market. They're easier to either monetize from advertisers. Advertisers want to reach people who are about to buy something, or your affiliate strategy, or e-commerce, or events. All of these things are easier when it's a vertical market rather than a general consumer audience. We also launch other products. So if you take my digital media business, I run 15 different domains. 60% of the turnover of that business has been launches that we've achieved in the last about 7 or 8 years. So it's not just translating your existing products and making it digital, it's also about thinking about opportunities to launch brand new products. And also it's about monetising them, obviously, and really trying to diversify our revenue streams. And really, Car Buyer is a fantastic example of how we're trying to do that. And with all of these, all the strategies and everything that we do, content's always at the heart of our business. We're mainly a search-led content strategy, so we prefer search to social. I know social has been more popular at times, but the great thing about search is if you go into a search engine and you search for example, a product, and we can try and rank highly for that audience, then clearly you're probably close to the point of purchase, and that makes it easier to translate that audience into either advertising revenue or sales. We always start with content, thinking about what's it for. So is this a piece of content which is for advertisers, is it about brand, or is it about our affiliate or e-commerce strategy? So it always starts from that point. So now I'll tell you a bit about BUYACAR. So what is BUYACAR? Well, effectively what we do is we sell cars to consumers and deliver it direct to their door. So they never see the car, they're used vehicles until the vehicle's delivered to their house, and the cars generally come from stock from dealers. I'll explain a bit more about what that means. So this is kind of how it works. So if you start, we go out and we secure deals with dealer groups and basically get access to their stock. So car dealers have used cars to sell. We take a feed of that stock. They're already supplying that stock to many classified platforms. They give it to us. We then promote that stock to our audience who market car buyers. So we've got about 5 million car buyers coming to our media sites at the moment. So we've got a captive audience of people we want to try and sell to. We then arrange every part of the process for selling a car. So we arrange finance, part exchange, other products like warranties. And then the cars are delivered direct to the customer's home, and hopefully that leads to happy customers. So why did we buy it? We bought it for a few reasons. Firstly, we are very dominant in the UK market for in-market car buying audiences. And we, from a piece of research that we commissioned, which was independent, we believe we reached 2 in 3 in-market car buyers. So clearly, if you're in the market to buy a new car in the UK, you're probably going to come across one of our sites at some point looking for review, information or advice about what to buy. This is also a screen grab from one of my brands, Car Buyer. So Honda wanted to have a 100% share of voice on this particular campaign, but as you can probably appreciate, although that was great for us, we made lots of money from that campaign, that's not really sustainable for the long term. It causes problems with viewability, it's not great for search performance, obviously going to have an impact on CTRs and campaign metrics for the campaign. So we know that we want to diversify away from just pure advertising revenues. It's already been mentioned a couple of times in the previous presentations. But also attitudes to buying cars online are fundamentally changing. So we did a survey of 1,000 car buyers back in 2013, just so we were thinking about buying BUYACAR, and found that only 17.5% would be confident in buying a car online. And that has doubled in the last 4 years. Part of the reason for that is the millennial generation, people who are used to doing everything online and probably on their phones, are becoming today's car buyers. There's some more data there as well, which I won't go through, but you can see that there's definitely a trend of people getting more interested in purchasing cars online. So what have we done with the site? Well, this is what the site looked like when we acquired it. So it's been built by the owner, who's only 5 employees, so it's quite a small business. The first thing we did is completely re-platform it. So as you can see, it's a responsive design site, so it works on all devices. Before, it was not a mobile-friendly site, and over 50% of our traffic is on smartphone, so it's really important to get that right. But also it's scalable, it's easy to test, all the things you'd expect from a modern web platform. And this is an idea of what a page would look like if you started searching for a car. You can see we also worked on loads of items down the side, simple ways that you can refine your search if you're a user trying to find the right car for you. If you then go to a product page, we've introduced loads of things like this modal where it says 25 people looked at this car in the last 24 hours, trying to give people a reason why they would want to transact with us, give us their data, start a journey to apply for finance, really trying to push people down the sales funnel. This was the old team, as I mentioned. There was only 5 employees. You can see one of them sat in the corner, there's 2 there actually. So now we've moved into our new modern offices. There's 65 employees. We've been really building out the sort of people we've got. So looking for people with a lot of data skills, people who, obviously on the sales side, the car buying side, the operational side, people with e-commerce experience, which they didn't really have before. And then we've been developing the marketplace itself. So we used to have 8,000 cars listed on the site, and that's now reached about 55,000. And we did that by hiring a dealer acquisition expert, somebody who travels around the country signing up car dealers. We've also been working on a new car strategy. We don't really do new cars at the moment, but that's coming. I'm thinking about margin enhancing products. So, for example, I mentioned warranties very quickly at the beginning. When somebody buys a car, we want to sell them everything else which goes with that. So the finance, for definite, that's a big part of our revenue, but also warranty products, so that if you buy a car and it breaks down or there's a problem with it, then you're covered. Insurance products as well. There's loads of areas. Just like if you go into a car dealer, the portfolio of products that they had, we want to try and sell the same things to a consumer. And then the product's been developing a lot. You've probably seen from the look and feel of it, it looks very different, but content has been very important, and obviously we're a content business, so we know how to build a good content strategy to make sure we're ranking well. We also do a lot of multivariate testing, so we're constantly trying to look at our sales funnels and work out how we can improve the performance of each one of the pages, and really using data. Data's at the heart of the business. So we do a lot more reporting. We have dashboards up around the screen, constantly monitoring what's happening on the site so that we can react and respond really quickly. And we also leverage our existing media sites. Well, you mentioned that we're a big player of free market car buyers in the UK. And this is an example of an Auto Express review of a Volvo V60, and on the page you will see a widget which pulls in cars for sale directly from BUYACAR and then links through to BUYACAR. So about 60,000 people a month are currently using our media sites and going through to a product page like that. And this has had a big impact on the interactions that we have on the site. So we mainly focus on getting people to do a used quote, to get a quote for a car, and also do a finance application. If somebody fills out a finance application for car finance, it takes about 10 minutes, we've got loads of information in there, and they are the pieces of the customers who convert the best. So we're focused on these two particular things, and as you can see, there's been a good period of growth. And all this led into a fantastic performance for the business. So we're now delivering over 400 cars per month. We expect that to be close to 500 in the month of September. It's grown pretty consistently every month. The dip there is December, because people don't tend to buy so many cars in December. But cars are going well, our traffic's going well, so the amount of uniques coming to the site. So for an e-commerce site this time, getting to close to 500,000 unique users a month is a really good performance. The finance revenue I mentioned, so we are now consistently hitting over £300,000 a month just in the commission we get for organising finance for a car that we sell. So the customer comes to the site, we organise the finance, and we get commission for that, and that leads to about £300,000 worth of commission for us a month at the moment. And then warranties again have been a big area of focus, and you can see how many we're selling, and that is about £40,000 or £50,000 of margin a month for us. And the best way of judging the success of the business really is how happy our customers are. We get fantastic reviews. This is Trustpilot, the one that the review site that we use, but we consistently 5 stars out of 5, and really positive feedback from our customers because they enjoy the experience. We've focused on the customers to make sure we give them what they want. Here's just a few of the key results. So we will turn over about £62 million in 2018 just for BUYACAR as a business. And when we acquired it at the end of 2014, they used to do £400,000 a year, so a massive amount of growth. As I mentioned, finance is really important to us, and 90% of all the cars that we sell have finance that we've arranged for the customer. And so that this year alone is £32 million worth of finance, and it's now projected this business to make up about 40% of our total revenues for this year. It's only going to grow, and I expect that to be even more significant in the next 2 or 3 years. The things we're now focusing on, maybe really in 3 areas. So firstly, customer acquisition. So can we get more people onto the site into the top of the funnel? So there's all sorts of ways we're trying to do that. The second is conversion. So if I just take one of those examples, so lead scoring, trying to get an idea about the sorts of people who come to our sites, and can we find out information about them to try and help to convert them easier from the sales team and from the site. And then margin, so improving our margin. So we're constantly thinking about how we can get more commission out of finance companies, and as our scale improves, we expect that to happen. But also, obviously as we scale, we have economies of scale that we can leverage, and also we can try and get better deals from our suppliers. But also there's a pipeline of further opportunities. So that's just the main part of the business, but there's all sorts of other things that we think we can do. As I mentioned, we don't really do new cars at the moment, so we're planning to get into that space. I do think there's a great opportunity to build a customer retention product. One of the problems with selling cars is people tend to change car about once every 3 years. So how do you come up with a way of keeping in contact with them and keeping your brand at the forefront of their minds during that period? Because you want them to think of you and come straight back to you when they plan to buy the next car in a few years' time. So the idea there is to have some sort of service whereby you load up all of the details about your car, and we remind you when your car's due a service, an MOT or insurance or products like that. Just a good way of reminding people about BUYACAR as a brand. And of course the other thing is we believe that we can take this model and license it to additional regions. So we're already having conversations across Europe about taking the model, taking the platform and applying it to a different territory. It's been so successful in the UK, it's got loads of further growth to come. We absolutely believe it can be a £200 million plus business in the next 2 years. We'd like to try and replicate some of that success with the right partners in other territories. So that's it. BUYACAR in 15 minutes. But it really is changing the way people buy cars in the UK. And it's been an amazing piece of transformation for us, going from a media company to a company which actually sells physical products and sells cars. Thank you.